Let's be real for a second. If you're prepping for the GMAT, GRE, CAT, or really any of those high-stakes aptitude exams, your stress levels are probably through the roof right now. You're juggling a million different concepts, the ticking clock is constantly echoing in your head, and every single point feels literally life or death for your future. It's a massive pressure cooker, right? And in that environment, being efficient is just as crucial as being accurate. So in this explainer, we're diving into a technique that takes one of the absolute most frustrating math topics on the syllabus and turns it into your secret weapon. We're going to completely flip the script on exam day and take back control of that clock. So, think about it. What is your absolute worst enemy in a competitive exam? You might be thinking it's some obscure vocabulary word, or maybe an impossible geometry puzzle. But it's not. Your worst enemy is time. Complex word problems, especially those nasty mixture problems, they aren't actually hard because the math is impossible. No, they're hard because they are designed to steal your time. They drag you into this awful swamp of fractions and multi-step equations while the clock just drains away, leaving you totally panicked for the rest of the test.
But what if there was a way to take that time back? Well, the magic number is 30. 30 seconds is literally all it takes to solve 90% of mixture problems. I am completely serious. If you know the cheat code we're about to go over, you'll be able to read the question, apply a quick mental framework, and pick the right answer in exactly half a minute. That leaves you with precious minutes banked for the actual hard parts of the test. Here's our game plan for this explainer. First, the mixture math cheat code. Second, mastering the alligation cross. Third, removal and replacement tricks. Fourth, solving tricky scenarios. And finally, avoiding common exam traps. All right, let's jump straight into section 1, the mixture math cheat code, ditching the golden rule. If you've opened up any test prep book recently, you've definitely run into the dreaded topic of alligation. It's usually buried in the back of the math fundamentals section, taught with this terrifying, massive formula. You know the one, the traditional golden rule. It's something like quantity of the cheaper item over the quantity of the dearer item equals the mean price minus, well, you get the idea. It goes on and on. It's an absolute academic nightmare to memorize, and it's exponentially harder to actually use when you're under pressure and your brain is fried. But good news, there is a brilliant alternative called the alligation cross. It's a surprisingly simple visual shortcut that lets us toss that nightmare formula right in the trash. Instead of doing intense algebra, we just use a basic spatial map to find the answer intuitively. Before we start drawing that cross, let's just do a quick refresher on the concept itself. Alligation is really just a fancy, kind of intimidating word for finding the perfect mixing ratio. That's it. No magic, no deep theoretical math. When you have two different things and you want to combine them to make a specific third thing, this is the tool you use. Which brings us to section 2, mastering the alligation cross, your visual superpower. So let's forget the algebraic formulas entirely. This is a totally visual way to solve these problems, and here's exactly how it works. Step 1, jot down your two initial prices or concentrations stacked vertically. Step 2, write your desired mean, that target mixture you're trying to hit, right in the center. Step 3, imagine a large X going through that center mean and just subtract diagonally along the lines of that X. Now here is the absolute crucial part. You must take the absolute values. Always subtract the smaller number from the larger number. Why? Well, because if you end up with a negative number, your ratio flips, and test makers will absolutely put that wrong answer in the multiple choice options just waiting for you to pick it. Keep the numbers positive, follow the diagonals, and honestly, the map basically does the math for you. Let's look at how wildly fast this is with a real example. Imagine you need to mix a 10% at a 25% sugar solution to get a target 16% solution. Okay, write 10 and 25 down. Put 16 right in the middle. Now subtract diagonally, 16 minus 10 is 6. 25 minus 16 is 9. Boom, your final ratio is sitting right there, 9 to 6. Simplify that down and you get 3 to 2. You're done. The result is literally just the reverse ratio of the distances from the mean. Doing it visually completely bypasses the need for an equation. That's exactly how you crush these in under 30 seconds. Moving right along to section 3, removal and replacement tricks, the pure liquid trap. Okay, this specific scenario is basically a boss battle on exams. Test makers absolutely love it because they want to see if you'll take the bait and try to calculate everything step by step. Picture this. A tank initially holds 80 liters of pure wine. 8 liters is removed and replaced with water.
Then they do that exact same process a second time, leaving a final ratio of 81% wine to 19% water. Most people will try to figure out the exact new ratio after the first replacement and then agonizingly try to calculate the exact amount of wine in the second 8 liters being removed. It's a huge mess. It's a massive time sink that will completely derail your pacing. But instead of falling into that trap, there's a remarkably simple shortcut formula that solves the whole thing in one shot. Final quantity equals initial quantity times 1 minus y over x, all raised to the power of n. In this case, y is the amount replaced, x is the total capacity, and n is simply the number of times the replacement happens. Let's plug our wine problem in. We start with 80 liters, so it's 80 times 1 minus 8 over 80 squared, because we did it twice. 8 over 80 easily simplifies to 1/10, or 0.1. So the equation beautifully condenses down to 80 times 0.9 squared. 0.9 squared is 0.81. Multiply 80 by 0.81, and you get exactly 64.8 liters of wine remaining. Just 2 quick multiplications. You instantly bypass what would normally be 5 minutes of error-prone math. All right, Section 4, Solving Tricky Scenarios. Profit, Loss, and Dilution. So test makers know about the alligation cross. They know you know it, so they try to hide the core numbers and tricky word problems involving unstated concentrations or maybe dishonest shopkeepers trying to make a quick profit. The cheat code here is to treat those percentages or the cost prices exactly as your alligation values. Plug them right into your cross just like the sugar solution. And listen, here is a fantastic golden nugget to remember. If a problem states someone is adding pure water to dilute a mixture, always treat that pure water as a 0% concentration. Water costs nothing and has 0% of the target ingredient in it. Factoring that 0 into your cross makes the mental math incredibly fast. Think of this as your ultimate survival guide for basically every variation they can throw at you on exam day. If you understand these 4 scenarios, you're set. First, if the mean price is given but the starting ratio is known, skip the cross can entirely and just use a standard weighted average formula. Second, if you're adding a pure component, like pure alcohol, treat that concentration as a full 100% in your alligation cross. Third, and we just touched on this, if you're adding water to dilute something, that water is always 0%. It's just empty volume. And fourth, if you're trying to find a profit margin by mixing 2 different qualities of an item, treat their cost prices as your alligation values. Recognizing the problem type immediately tells you which trick to deploy. No guesswork required. Finally, Section 5, Avoiding Common Exam Traps so you don't lose easy marks. Now, having a powerful cheat code is totally useless if you walk right into a trap anyway. Test makers are super clever. They actually designed the incorrect multiple choice answers around the most common mental slips. Number 1, forgetting absolute values in the cross. Like we talked about, a negative number flips your ratio, and a guarantee that reversed ratio will be sitting right there as choice A, smiling at you. Number 2, mixing ratios incorrectly. If a problem gives you a starting ratio of 2 to 3, you've got to convert that to a fraction, like 2/5, before it goes into the cross. Number 3, misplacing your cheaper and dearer values. If you accidentally swap your rows, your final ratio swaps too. Keep them straight. And number 4, using alligation for simple addition problems. Sometimes they'll just ask for a basic combined total, hoping you overcomplicate it. Stay sharp, read the prompt, and make sure you're actually mixing things to find a mean before you unleash the cross. We've covered a ton of ground in this explainer today, and to wrap things up, I've got a cliffhanger challenge for you. A milkman mixes water and milk and sells it at cost price, gaining 16.67%. What's the ratio of milk to water? Test yourself right now. Use the 100 and 0% trick we just explored and try to solve this in under 30 seconds. Drop your answer in the comments and let me know how fast you got it. Do you have the exam cheat code mastered? I'll see you in the comments to find out.